Hey, I want to give you guys a teaser to a really, really big feature update coming shortly. In the next week, we just have a few more nuts to tighten here. So, configuration. Currently in HVAKR, we have this schematic configurator, or you can set up a sequence, right? But there are some limitations here. It's not fully modular. You can't set up 100% of systems that are out there. In this update, we are dropping a fully modular system configurator that can also be configured by mode, meaning you can have both cooling and heating processes happening in the same mode, and there are lots of bells and whistles attached to this. So this diagram, compared to this one right here, you get some information. Cool, I can turn things on and off. Here, I can assess every state of air as it goes through this unit in exactly the configuration that I want. And there are no limitations on where these processes take place. If I wanted, I could have outside air, and then I could have cooling and heating happening before the return air mixes with it. I can add as many components as I want. So I can have a cooling process for the outside air in cooling mode, mixing, and then another cooling coil happening here, and I can configure exactly what I want each of these things to do, which is super cool. I'll delete that. In this case, I've got subcooling here and then preheat in cooling mode, and if I expand this, I can see that plotted on the psych chart. So here we go, outside air, return air. This is my mixed air state. I'm doing this cooling process right here, and then I'm reheating it. I also have fan heat gain happening after that, so this is going to be after the coils draw through. And then this supply air is my final state. And like if I raise this temperature, or if I wanted to do BTUs or set power, I could as well. But if I raise this up, I'll see in real time how that affects my psychrometrics. Same deal here. If I bring this to 55, and then maybe I get rid of this coil, I can see how that affects my psychrometrics. I don't have the same dehumidification as I had before. So this is super cool. It allows you to really configure whatever you want and specify between cooling and heating. You get great visuals like the psych chart that go along with it. So here's that same package unit, but in heating mode. This is my winter condition mixing with my return air, and then I'm heating it all the way up here. Awesome. You can add components, move them in whatever order. You can specify which ones are enabled in which mode. You can delete them entirely, and it's pretty great. One thing we're going to be adding to go along with this is presets. So because we're adding more complexity and more functionality, we're also going to be adding some presets, which is you're going to have your basic stuff ready to go. So if you don't need to get too complicated with it, we'll have some really good basic options for you, like a standard air handler to VAV with reheat, a DOAS serving 4-pipe fan coils with or without ERVs, that kind of thing. And you'll be able to just set a preset and configure the whole system. Another thing we are including is when you're specifying, like in this case, I've got this DOAS with an ERV, tempering the air before it goes to my, say, zone level equipment, terminal units. Here, I can specify whether that outside air coming in is coupled to my terminal unit or decoupled, meaning it goes straight to the space. And if it goes straight to the space, we're actually handling that calculation differently. We're handling the space as kind of the mixing box and making sure the load is appropriate and the CFMs are appropriate to still maintain a comfortable temperature inside what is now the mixing box, the space. So that's additional functionality, which is super cool. This configuration is basically going to be a schematic view focused on actually setting up the processes, setting up your systems, what the equipment looks like. And then next to it is going to be the canvas view, which is more focused on the airflows relative to the drawing. So you can actually see your spaces, see the airflows, what's coming and going, manage your zones this way by actually looking at the drawings. So it's going to be basically two views of the same information. One view focused on the schematic setup of your systems, the other view focused on like the spaces themselves and their airflows, so you can make sure your balancing is set up properly. You can adjust transfers, you can make sure you're hitting the differentials you want. All here, it's all tied together. You'll be able to see all this information in either view like this. This is how much outside air is coming in, that's the state. So super exciting stuff. This is dropping pretty soon. Wanted to give you all a heads up because in short order, this is gonna look a little different. This is a big one. So I hope you're excited, and I'll be releasing more videos on and how-tos as soon as we drop this, teach you the ins and outs of this new feature. All right, stay tuned and enjoy.